And as soon as we saw it, we knew that it was our destiny and that we create our mission here.
Hi, I'm Mike Speranzo and welcome to Mr. Smalls. Come on in, let's check out the theater.
Is there white light on the far side? Just how
This is Mr. Smalls Theater.
change from the overflow.
We used to have a recording studio for the first 5 years of our business life together, located down the street in a rented location. And our lease was about up. It was about 5 years. And we were sitting in the diner talking about what to do next, whether to renew our lease or find another location. And we were just kind of dreaming and saying, oh, wouldn't it be so great if we could find a church? And lo and behold, the mayor's brother was sitting at the counter at the diner, walks over to our table and says, you know, the borough's got a church.
And then from there, we started communicating with the borough about how we could do it. The borough had owned it, and they liked what our proposal was. Originally, it was going to be a recording studio with a live venue component to it, but mainly a recording studio. And while we were engaged in developing the recording studio here, the recording industry changed dramatically. We couldn't afford to develop this space up to be a state-of-the-art recording studio because money like that wasn't being earned in studios anymore. So the economics just shifted with the Pro Tools revolution coming on and sort of changed everything about the way that recording was working. You know, prior to that, we owned a recording studio.
We did like live recording shows in the recording studio where our friends would like basically plan a show at the studio, sell tickets to their friends, and we would record it so that would pay for their album. So that was kind of, you know, our concept that we did at our first studio. We were going to translate it here, making it more of a showcase type place. Yeah. But when the bottom dropped out of the recording industry and all of a sudden everybody and their brother had GarageBand on their laptop, we really had to change the plan quickly because we had debt that, you know, from buying the place, from building and taking loans to develop the place. So we had to very quickly find a business model that could bring in some income.
We were sort of forced to scramble, and we decided to just lean on the live venue aspect of it, and we just, you know.
I mean, Mike and I, you know, toured around with Rusted Root for many years together, raising our son on the road, and we've seen venues all across the country, and so we really had a good feel for, you know, what was out there in terms of venues and what venues across the country were offering to artists and to patrons, and so that gave us a lot of perspective on what we wanted to create for the artists.
The shows were things that Liz had booked by herself because she had known people on the road with Rusted Root, and we called in favors and asked people just to start it up, and then it just, you know, we went from there. From the very beginning, the plan was turned upside down, you know, halfway through. Hi, I'm Mike Speranzo. Welcome to Mr. Smalls Skate Park. We're discussing a little bit about the summer '08 developments for the skate park. To get rid of the vert ramp. We're tearing down the vert ramp.
I work here at Mr. Smalls with my uncle and my aunt and my sister. And, well, I'm from Orlando, and I lived there for like 16 years. And then my uncle, the owner of Mr. Smalls, he made his way down to Florida and was like, hey man, what are you doing down here? It's super hot. Actually, he invited me one summer to rebuild the skate park. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll come help for sure. And 1 month turned into 2 months, 2 months turned into 3 months, and then we ended up building a massive skate park. And then as soon as it was open, I was like, man, I think I'm gonna stay.
So we're gonna have to tomorrow start tearing down the decks, pull the skate light off.
We actually had 3 different skate parks in that skate park. It was 170 square feet, and yeah, we rebuilt it 3 times. And there used to be the 2000 X Games vert ramp there that Tony Hawk did a 900 on, and like it had like some really nice play as far as like its support for the community.
And we operated that for 10 years. We did programs with kids where if they raised their grade level up to a B, they would skate all free for summer. And, you know, it was a community service that we did for 10 years.
You know, like most people that came to the park were young kids, and yeah, they didn't really have anywhere to go, so they all would keep coming back, and it created like this little family, just like skate parks do.
Well, it all started when the borough asked us to tear down the skate park. It was a big crossroads for us. The skate park, it was never developed as a way to make money. You don't try to make money off of helping kids, teaching them how to skateboard.
We opened that place at a time when there was nowhere to skate anywhere within 3 hours at least of Pittsburgh. And so we created a central community for people who wanted to skate vert, who wanted to have an expansive street park environment.
Growing up around Mr. Smalls and the skate park, and my uncle and my aunt, and they have this sensibility that like there is no top, there is no walls, there's no limit. And when you're a little kid and you're surrounded by things like that, it's super impactful. Like I built the foundation of who I am as a person now based around that.
This is the Funhouse. It's a 170 capacity venue. We do the best in local and regional music here. We have shows 5 nights a week, and we're really excited about it. It's a great addition to the Mr. Smalls family.
Family is a huge part of every aspect of this business, even starting with the name. Mike and I had, 20 years ago, had a beautiful son together, and when he was a baby, we traveled around a lot, like I mentioned, and he had a nanny, and they all had these nicknames for each other, and Jordan's nickname as a baby was Mr. Smalls. So when it came to name our business, we wanted to name it after our son, so that's how Mr. Smalls Theater got its name.
We have my niece, my sister's daughter. She is one of the general managers here and event coordinator, and just all around go-to person. My nephew is a partner with Liz and myself in the business, and he's a professional skateboarder, travels the world skateboarding, and we're extremely proud of him. But it's a great thing to have him involved in what we do, because he brings a kind of traveled perspective to what we have, and he sometimes in our think tanks he can bring in things that he's seen at other locations and around the world, and sort of bring that into the conversation. So I mean, he's a very valuable asset to us dreaming what our next moves are. We rally around each other intellectually a lot. Liz, myself, Shondon, and Evan will sit around and talk about the direction.
they've really taken us in, and they've really, showed us about what family is, and really let us have the opportunity to get to know our extended family that we really never knew, and the relationships that have been built between them and I and Evan are stronger than ever, and it's really, what helps us all to get through every single day and build all of our different entities of our life that's going on. We have a little one on the way too. So we have a new little Mr. Smalls coming in.
Yeah, it allowed me to blossom into the person I am right now. Being around this place, seeing that there's no boundaries, no walls, no ceiling. Just go as far as you want with anything you want.
We really rally around each other's thoughts, and we develop our ideas off of each other. It's really a cool experience because it's family.
I wish everyone could see that at a very young age, literally is one of the most impactful things I've ever experienced.
It will be something as mundane as the coat check room, or it could be something as grandiose as trying to open up the new business across the street.
We do music camp every year, that's fun. You get some of the same kids coming back, divide them all into bands, and then write songs with them and record them. And they do a live performance here at the venue at the end of the week. So just little programs like that.
In the history of Mr. Smalls, the development of the recording studio and the concert venue, there have been a lot of things that we've done along the way, that we wanted to do, either to help kids or to help local musicians.
The Department of Human Services gives her funding for her to do a program called We Rock, and that's a workshop where she gets kids from homes all over Pittsburgh. And every Monday they meet up, and then she teaches them how to record and teaches them how to use microphones or, write music or compose and
things that we just wanted to do to provide opportunity. And all of those things together kind of became the Creative Life Support concept.
And she finds the super dope kids that are interested in the program, and then it's really, 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 really special.
We started doing educational programs in the high schools, teaching kids how to record. And since then, it's grown into a pretty active nonprofit. The students walk out with a full press kit of everything that they would need to start booking gigs for about 13 years now. That's probably our longest running program.
Everything that we've done, everything that we do, everything that we plan on doing is all based around the community, based around what's going to be an established point for all of these people to be able to come together and experience laughter and life and fun and in one particular location.
There's been some really amazing shows here. There's only a couple times where I've walked in and just been completely blown away. One was Snoop Dogg.
Snoop-a-loop on stage.
And being in the middle of the crowd and Gin and Juice dropping, and just being I'm in the middle of this concert venue right now, and I'm looking up, there's Snoop Dogg going on, and Gin and Juice is dropping. And I was absorbed in the show, and I was trying to make sure everyone was, and I just finally realized the gravity of what was going on. I was holy shit, this is Gin and Juice.
I love seeing Wu-Tang, it's always a good time.
Alt J.
Perry Farrell.
Yeah, Smashing Pumpkins, that was rad.
And when Johnny Marr came, and Lisa Marie Presley.
Muse on the balcony.
Muse.
Oh God, it was amazing.
Then Metric. Metric and Broken Social Scene.
I got to play music until 6 in the morning with Broken Social Scene on this stage.
Just seeing those super famous people come through, I'm super starstruck,
Michael Franti and Spearhead was one of the first really big shows that played here, and his presence really set the tone of inspiration for the development of the whole thing, I think.
I think that, it took up till now, from first opening to get established as a facility.
We no longer are picking up the pieces and trying to survive. Now we're in a stage where we're here, we're not going anywhere, and all we can do is make it better.
lost again. Face the bets.